driver's side of the pickup truck was white Arbery, and it was
All right,
also
guys,
smoky.
I have it muted, but we are reporting live from the courthouse
Also, budget was
where
never
the
paid.
hate trial
Also, the
of
prosecutor's department.
the
Did
men
Defendant Brian say where that's at?
responsible for killing Ahmaud Arbery is now facing
I have Exhibit
hate crime
111.
charges as well as weapons charges. So, when federal court doesn't allow cameras in, but
See the death we're
media
talking
has
about there?
provided a live feed. I am outside with the feed, and I'm bringing it to you right now.
Okay.
I think talking about with the clouds and towers.
And please tell me by a one
Let's
if
jump
you can
down
hear
to the
me.
second interview you talked about, which was later that day at GCTV, right? And I can't remember if I asked you this before, but who interviewed him at the police station?
Detective Lowry with Jerome County Police Department.
How did Defendant Brian get to the police station that day?
He drove himself.
Did he leave on his own afterwards? So he wasn't under arrest. Did he speak voluntarily? And during that interview, did he talk about what he was doing that day when he first saw that something was going on?
So, guys, if you have questions,
What?
text it to me, and perhaps I can answer them. But this is a testimony by the
What did he
special
during your
agent
part of detention?
for the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, who was one of the first to interview William Rowdy Bryan. And this is happening right now.
To be clear, he didn't know the name of Mr. Arbery at that point, right? Did he say whether he had ever seen that black guy before? Did he say whether he knew at that point who was in the truck? What did Defendant Brian tell GCPD he said to the people who were in the truck?
Something along the lines of, y'all got him.
Have you watched Government Exhibit 94.1 and 94.2? What are those?
Those are excerpts or clips from the video later.
I'd like to offer 94.1 and 94.2 into evidence.
Okay, let's see if I can help you with that. You said you're hearing the question, but not the answer.
So again, in this interview later that day, did Defendant Brian again talk about what he had done or not done with respect to Mr. Arbery? We have Exhibit 94.1.
Response was yes. They're playing the video now.
I want to ask you some questions about each piece of what we just heard. First, may I have Exhibit 1 back up on the screen, please? Again, can you just orient us by putting an X at Senate Bryan's driveway?
Approximately.
For the record, maybe a little more than a third of the way from Satilla to Bellwood on Burford. Okay, so at first there he said he angled at Ahmaud and pushed him off toward the ditch. Can you draw where the ditch is that he's talking about?
Yes, ma'am. There's a drainage ditch that's running right across the road now. Right at a lot. Now,
Okay, guys, I'm here.
So for the record, you've drawn a drainage ditch that runs along Burford Road.
They can't
across
hear
the
me
street from
as
Senate Bryan's house.
I'm
Is that right?
muted. The phone is muted, but this is the
All right, next he said he pulled out onto
live
Burford and
stream
went
from inside
toward
the
the
courthouse.
entrance.
I'm literally outside the courthouse, but that stream is coming from inside the courthouse, and this provides me a better vantage point because no recordings allowed in the courthouse. So I'm outside my car.
And is that the main entrance
But if you've been
and
following me
exit?
on Instagram, you can see that we're set up
You know where
outside the
Ahmaud lives?
courthouse with our cameras.
So at that point, when he was running towards the exit to Satilla Shores, was he running towards home as well? Mr. Bryan said that he angled at him again before we got to the intersection where he ended up. Is that the interaction that you were just talking about before?
with contact with the truck.
Yeah. Can you, again, just draw a little X where that was? Just shy of that intersection with Satilla.
Yes, ma'am.
Then Defendant Bryan talked about how he and Ahmaud both ended up on Holmes Road. Can you explain that?
As they came out on Satilla Drive, kind of all this.
Sure. And we can zoom if that's easier for you.
As they came out on Satilla Drive, Burford Drive, Satilla, they're going this way. I call this a little spur on Satilla between Burford and Holmes. Mr. Bryan makes a right turn. He basically gets to that area of Holmes Road. And that's where he attempts to cut him off again. It's at that point that Mr. Arbery turns down Holmes Road, and then Mr. Bryan follows him.
You zoom in when it's on the area that I just.
So some may ask, why are we covering this phase of the
All right, is that a little bit easier
case?
to show what
Is
you were
because
just
this is the
talking about,
most
the intersection?
significant phase because
What
in
do
the
you mean?
state,
You were saying the
in the
intersection,
state, I'm
like, a
sorry
little
for
bit
talking
unusual
over you
to call it a
guys.
spur. What were you talking about there?
1 second.
The little curve between Satilla Drive,
Let me get you out of here.
Burford, and Holmes. I just described it as like a little spur.
So after that moment when Defendant Bryan cut off Ahmaud, you said that Defendant Bryan then went through the intersection. Now that we're
So
zoomed
the reason
in,
why
can
we're
you show us
covering
where he
this
went?
is because while we saw what happened in the state case, we didn't have the true why it happened. The government is.
Right. This is going to be about this spot.
I put him on. Thank you, T. I put him on timeout, and I'll probably block him. I saw it. But yeah, so we're covering this because this is very significant. It's significant because of the racial animus towards Ahmaud and probably anybody of color that would come in that community. So we decided that we must cover this part because if you check the history, and as my guest stated earlier this morning, Mr. Davis, this case is so important because we have not had a case like this in the last 20, 30 years, and it's a federal hate crime. We haven't had a case like this. So that's why it's very important for us to cover this. And I'm not bashing the black media, but this is so crucial when you think about all the people of color who have been killed by those responsible for protecting them. We don't know, was there racial animus towards those people who have died at the hands of, for example, police? We don't know that because there are not enough hate crime bills in the various states around America. But this is an example of how we saw the state case that was masterfully prosecuted by Linda Donikowski, who was the prosecutor in Cobb County, Georgia. However, we didn't get a chance to hear the hate that precipitated the murders of Ahmaud Arbery. So it's very important for us to study this case and understand the significance, the undertone of how the people who are not only responsible for investigating it, but also how we receive justice in America when it deals with hate and racial animus towards people of color.
There's familiarity with crime in the neighborhood. He's going to mention a place called Royal Oak. What is Royal Oak?
Royal Oaks is the neighborhood that's right next to Centilla Shores. It is actually between Centilla Shores.
And the testimony is powerful. It's powerful. And we're going to recap it tonight, but it's very powerful. So, guys, I just don't cover entertainment news. I've covered many social justice cases, and I know a lot of you are here for the entertainment aspect, but just think about this for one moment. If you have a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, aunt, or uncle, a best friend, a significant other, they too can fall in the same predicament that Ahmaud fell in. So it's very important that we pay attention to how the government prosecutes people that have a hate for Black people. And let's understand that a lot of these cases, they look at the crime, but they don't look at what precipitated the crime. So this is why it's very important that members of the Black media should put more of their resources behind covering stuff like this, because that's the only way we can eradicate this type of treatment, not only of regular Joe Schmoes, but also of certain people that have weaseled their way into law enforcement, in courts, as judges, as prosecutors, as defense attorneys, and how that has to be dealt with and paid attention to. Don't be scared to demand more from the people who cover Black news or Black entertainment. I can tell you right now, I am the only independent Black media covering this trial, which is very disheartening. It's very disheartening. I know Kanye West is going through his things. I know the baby's going through his things. I know there are a lot of celebrities that are going through their personal issues. But I guarantee you, that's rich people problems. These problems right here are happening to the regular you and I every day.
I've never seen this one. I've never seen this one. What was your Chuck? Hold on. All right, we're just about to jump to the third interview you mentioned. This was the first interview with TBI, right? That was on May 11th.
Boy.
And did you say that you
when clowns come in, you just take them out. Bang.
The first one that took place at the DNR building? Was that a voluntary interview? How did you make sure it was voluntary?
Just took them out.
Clarified that at the very beginning, letting him know that it was voluntary interview.
Did he have a lawyer with him?
Yes, we did.
The same guy who's over here now? Okay. Who was that who was representing?
I just took them out. They're out of here.
You know how Mr. Goff spells his last name? The reason I'm asking that is if we see the name Kevin or Goff on captions with videos we're playing, does that refer to his attorney that day? Right. So you said you made sure that he
I agree.
understood that
Priority's
all
not in its
voluntary.
place,
You
but
explicitly tell him that
again,
he
it goes
has
back
to
to the those who seek just
acknowledge
the clicks, views, and
Were there any
clicks,
basic ground
views,
rules
and
that you
likes
would
and
describe
advertising. I
as
know
employer that
advertisement
agreed
drives
to that
people's
first interview? What
platforms,
was that?
but you have people out here that are literally making up lies instead of taking that energy
Everything that happened
and
after,
trying to expose
when you guys agreed
the
that
lies that are
you covered the
happening
stuff that happened after the shooting,
in
you
government.
also agree that you would later come back and cover what happened the day of the shooting? And did you, for the most part, during that interview on the 11th, talk just about stuff that happened after the shooting? During that interview, did you learn about an important piece of evidence? What was that?
That Mr. Bryant had a home surveillance video camera system that had recorded initial part of that.
Up until that moment, on May 11th, had any law enforcement seen
So,
or
guys,
aware of that?
don't be afraid to support this type of coverage.
Already in evidence?
If you really care about this type of coverage, support it. No different than I'm not shading anyone, but there are people that are talking about stuff that really doesn't matter.
Surveillance video, is that right?
Really doesn't matter. You have to want to know when you walk down a certain street that you're not being attacked because of your skin color. You want to make sure when you walk in a business to conduct business that you get the business based on your qualification, not because of your race.
Truck backed up, and Ahmaud run. Is that right? When that came up in the interview, the fact that there was such a video.
I appreciate the people that have supported thus far.
What it was that was on there.
When I say something like hit the Cash App, I'm saying because I'm out here doing the work. I want to say this, and I want you guys to do your own research. I want to say this. I want you guys to pay attention to what I'm about to say. And you have the keyboard, you have the access to research. The Cardi B, Tasha K story fed a lot of people. And you know that my coverage, not taking away from anyone else's coverage, but my coverage across the globe has got the most coverage. So when people are talking about that case, it's a lot of work, and I'm not taking away from the people who really did the work and that were there to do the work. I'm not taking anything away from them, but I just didn't do this story because it was Tasha K or Cardi B. I did it because it involved a very important subject matter, and that was cyberbullying. Because I guarantee you, if it's not addressed now, your kids, if you have kids and nephews and nieces, they're going to be bullied. The next generation is going to be bullied.
You said that during that interview.
That's why I was there. I just didn't jump on the bandwagon. So you guys have your favorites and everything. I get that and everything, but reward people for doing the work. That incentivizes people to do the work. It changes the dynamics of how you get your news. If people are, if you're smart enough, you have common sense and instinct, you know why people are doing things. So I guarantee you, the same people that have critiqued my work, they were not in Ferguson during the height of protests when we were getting bombed with gas grenades. And I remember a time I was in Ferguson. I know this testimony is going on, but I want to say something. I want to bring you guys up to speed. It was the time I was in Ferguson when Mike Brown got killed in 2014. I was literally sitting outside the police station in a car with one of my friends, one of my colleagues. And next thing I know, shots fired. I'm outside the police department, and shots are fired very close to me. And I'm not saying it was the police, but there was no one else around. There were activists. There were getting arrested. There were reporters that are getting arrested. I mean, half the people that are talking crap have never been in those type of conditions or predicaments. So when I say do the work, do the work. Do the work. At my age, I'm still doing the work. So I implore the young people, 20, 30, because I started when I was in the 20s doing the work. And I would implore the young people to get out, get off your butts. Don't just sit at a computer all day and try to grab other people's content. There are literally people that have taken different things from my own platform and leave their living room. I own a lot of videos. I own the rights to a lot of content. I own the rights. You can never copyright my work because I own it. So it's about ownership. It's about doing the work. It's about building your legacy. It is about, I laugh at people. I laugh at people. And we had right now. I know we had testimony going on, but I'm on mute. I look at the people that jump on social media and clown and do all that goofy stuff, but they don't want to get out and do the work. They would love to cheat the system. And when I say cheat the system, I mean cheat the system of how you get your work, how you do your work. Sit on your butt all day in front of it's comical for me. You know what's comical for me? It's because I get out. I travel around the country during the pandemic. I was traveling, working, because I believe in exposing injustice. Not the goofy stuff. The goofy stuff gonna be goofy, I mean, way Kanye's acting, yeah, I feel sorry for him, but that's something he has to deal with, I mean, that's something you have to deal with. I know people want to hear the salacious celebrity stuff. So when I saw, for example, Portia Williams, I saw Portia Williams, the reality star, and T.I. at the protest, and Lil Baby at the protest. I thought that was good. That was a good start. But I remember when Reverend Run, Jay-Z, Russell Simmons, Alicia Keys, Swiss Beats, Dave Mays, Ray Pizzino, I'm saying names. These guys were literally using their platform before the internet to bring awareness to the problems and plights that are happening in our communities. So I'll just say this, the next dollar you spend, make sure you spend it where you're getting your money's worth, whatever that is. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Did he have his lawyer there with him again? And at the end of the interview, did he go home?
So I say that to say,
have you listened to 96.1?
Hit the Cash App. Support the platform. 96.4. I'm not even my home base.
What is it?
I spend all my resources to come to bring you guys content. And you can then teach those who are not in tune at what we do here.
Did you ask him in the second interview whether he recognized the driver? They have exhibit 96.1. Oh, I'm sorry. I did it. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I did it again. I would like to offer 96.1, 96.2, 96.3, 96.4, and 96.20. Any objection? Without objection. Now I have 96.1, please.
Okay, guys, I'm just listening to some of the testimony.
Can you speak on? Yeah, ring area, beer, and yeah.
talked earlier about what Defendant Brian said about what he did or did not recognize about the truck. Was that exchange, that conversation during this interview? So tell us again, did he recognize the truck?
He recognized the truck.
Did he know whether the truck belonged to somebody who lived in his neighborhood?
He did not.
Can you explain that?
When the incident began, he first saw the truck. He recognized the truck. Someone in the neighborhood, or whether the truck was just driving in the neighborhood. He didn't see it before.
Do you happen to know how long Sergeant Michael had that truck before the day of the shooting?
No, ma'am.
May I have exhibit 96.2?
They're talking about Travis McMichael's truck right now.
Now, real quick, I go back. You said you recognize the truck. What did you recognize? Why did you recognize the truck?
I mean, I've seen it in the neighborhood. I mean, at that time, I didn't know exactly why I recognized it. I didn't know from what house or, just whenever you noticed it by around. I didn't really put it together until afterwards.
Okay. And what did you realize afterwards? You said you realized it afterwards. What did you realize?
And I feel like it, who it was, but at the end of the event, I realized it was Greg McMichael on the other side of the truck.
Guys, don't worry. I will be doing a recap of today's testimony, as well as some of the.
I want to focus you now on the end of the chase. So at the very end, right before the shooting. Did you talk to Defendant Brian about that moment leading up to the shooting? Did he tell you whether he thought Ahmaud was aware of his presence behind him? What did he say?
He said that he was aware because we briefly turned around and believed that Mr. Arbery saw him and turned back towards Michael's truck.
I have exhibit 96.4, please.
What do you remember about the actual incident itself then? How it happened?
I think I remember seeing Ahmaud turn around and look towards me. Pulling up, they almost pulled, no, car stopped. I'm still back a bit late, I believe. Yeah, I'm still back a bit late. And then
All right, guys. So
he runs around the right-hand side of the truck, and I figured that
I'm going to turn the audio down and see if you guys have any questions as it relates to this particular trial, or how can you in your community get others engaged in citizen recording of the news in your community, of social justice, with using the camera as your tool, a very important tool. Your camera, your microphone is a very important tool in the fight to get justice. And I can illustrate it just with the recording by defendant William Bryan, who decided to record them chasing Ahmaud. I now believe that the recording that was taken of Ahmaud's death was going to be used as a trophy piece for these racist men who killed Ahmaud. Because it would be no other reason you would record you committing that type of heinous crime other than to keep it as a trophy piece. So in this instance, the recording brought these men to justice, was the first step in bringing them to justice. And with, especially, with the community outrage and the consistent pounding of the pavement by both Ahmaud's mother and father, Marcus and Wanda. There are a lot of people. I was just in a restaurant eating lunch, and a woman came in there. She was ordering food. And she said, "I was just tased by the police, and I can't find a lawyer in Brunswick that would take the case." That is crazy. No one wants to touch the case in Brunswick. Crazy. All right, guys, I'm about to post something here. I want to turn this out. Let me use my other device. I got devices here, man. I got some devices here. Hold the comments. If you have any questions, go ahead. Uh, I'm gonna share the link. Maybe somebody want to jump in and I'm gonna share the link right now. Let's go. I'm about to do something. I want you guys to tell me if you can hear me much better. I'm about to do something here. Let me put my mic on. Hold on. I'm gonna change the sound quality so you guys can hear it much better. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Sorry for the camera moving around, but we are not in a stationary position. Let's see. Nope, won't work. Crap. Sorry about that. I thought I could connect that mic. I could do it from my other device, but not from there. Okay. All right, I put the link there. If you want to jump on real quickly and you have a question, you can come on in. Click on that link right there. You can click on that link right there. Okay, I got the legendary, infamous Sylvia. Let's bring her up on stage.
How are you, Dennis?
Sylvia, what's going on?
None. How are you?
I'm out here working, as you can see. You'll be joining me next week, right?
Yeah, I'll be there next week. I'll be there.
Let me turn the sound. I want to be able to
I'm
hear
doing
you.
my R. Kelly.
So, what do you think about the
right
coverage? I hear you. I hear you. We are on the Ahmaud Arbery Justice Party right now.
Okay. Well, I'm waiting for my motion to drop.
You said you waiting for what?
The motion to drop.
Yeah, I think it was a motion put in yesterday, correct?
No, today. She's supposed to drop the motion for the New York case.
What motion is she filing?
29? Something like that? I don't know. I'll find out when it drops.
No, what? Oh, you don't know what the purpose of the motion is? Which one she's supposed to be
that's
filing?
for the New York case. This is the post motion for the post trial.
Oh, for the appeal.
Uh-huh.
Well, New York is the appeal, right?
Well, it's
right,
not appealed yet. It's not appealed yet.
Well, they put the notice in already, so they have to put supporting motions and briefs. They have to file briefs and everything, correct?
Not yet. They have to do first. You have to once you file a post motion first in regard to I think it's a 29.
New trial.
Rule 29, something like that. For new trial.
Okay, I would have to look it up, but what do you think about this case that I'm covering today?
I think it's pretty good. I was listening to some of the stuff you were saying in regarding to the recording that that guy Roddy, whatever his name is, did, and it ended up backfiring on him because now it's used against him.
Right, and
he was
what we did here in the state case. Yeah, absolutely. Why else would we record that? Now the this is where the connection comes in at with this particular hate crime trial is because there were text messages, communication back and forth from friends, and using initials, that it was clear that Rowdy in particular didn't like black people. His daughter was dating a black man, and it was a time where when Dr. King's holiday came around, and they had the parade down the main strip of Gloucester where I'm at right now. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they He would say to his friends that those coons wouldn't come in his neighborhood with that. So when you travel to, okay, let me take this person out of here real quick. I'm about to take them all the way out, block them. Now they out. I took them out.
I don't even see the chat anymore. Where's the
Well,
chat?
hold on. CD, huh?
I don't even see the
No,
chat.
CD said. Yeah, well, I see the chat. I'm looking at it. CD said. I'm gonna read her comment, or his comment. I don't know if that's a he or she, but how can we get our youth to stop being against the law and start learning the law for their own civil rights? Exactly. I mean, I think it's the parents' responsibility, to learn. They need to learn the law before they tell the children to learn the law, so they know they can arm their children with those necessary tools. When they encounter, for example, the police, and how to respond to the police. Because if you had the information and you knew that certain things you didn't have to say when you got stopped by the police, you would probably save your kid's life, because most kids that encounter police will just start talking. They don't know that they have the right to remain silent. They don't know that anything they say will be used against them. They don't know they have the right to an attorney. They don't know there's so many. That the first 10 amendments of the Constitution is the Bill of Rights, and if they acquaint themselves with the Bill of Rights, do a little research on the Bill of Rights, they too can be able to avoid a lot of mistakes that are being made. If you look at the case of the Chicago, the New York case of the Central Park Five, where their parents pretty much didn't understand the Bill of Rights, and they allowed their kids to give testimony that was twisted and made turned against them, and they ultimately had to go to jail. Like, for example, police can lie to you when police have. It's not illegal for a cop to lie to you when they are conducting an investigation, or they are got you in an interrogation room. They call it a tactic. So, I mean, there are a lot of things that you should tell your kids, really. But a lot of people don't know this.
So when
They
you gonna
don't.
have the class? Dennis?
Hey, I would bring. I would not listen. Listen. I would not give a class on the Bill of Rights. I would talk about the Bill of Rights, but I would bring in an attorney to explain the significance and how these first 10 amendments of the Bill of Rights are important, and how they can change your life. Like for example, the search and seizure laws, which is a part of the Fourth Amendment. A lot of people don't know, when that law came about in 1973. You can Google this. It was a case of Arizona versus, I want to say it was Miranda. Arizona versus Miranda. Google it, guys. This is off the dome.
That's the Miranda law. That's the one where he has
Arizona versus
right. Yeah.
Miranda. That was a very powerful case in 1973, 72. I remember this because I was a good student, you know,
You're breaking up.
we
You're breaking up.
did our, um, we did an analysis on how that applied to, the timeline. Right, the
He's
Miranda
breaking
law.
up.
Yeah, Miranda it was an Arizona case, correct?
Hmm. You're breaking up. You're freezing.
And then CD Is a she? Nah, we
You're
still together.
freezing.
I'm here.
You're freezing.
I'm here.
You don't
Okay.
hear me,
Hold on 1 second, guys.
guys. He don't hear me.
I'm here. I'm here. Freezing. I'm freezing. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, I'm here. We got from the courtroom right now, so I don't know when they're about to come downstairs. Can you hear that?
How you getting the feed? How you getting the feed?
Hold on, Sylvia. I
How
got
you
the
getting the
hookup.
feed? Answer the question. Yo, you got some shenanigans.
If I told you, guess what? I had to kill you.
Oh Lord! Don't tell me that.
Oh no, don't take that literally because someone will mix that up. Say he's gonna kill her. He's gonna kill her. No.
Yeah, they're going. They have witness. We have witness online.
Oh my God. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kim Riley.
Where did that judge end?
Melanie said, "Get better equipment." Melanie, no, that's because he's all the way in the boondocks. He in the boondocks of New
Melanie, hold
Brunswick.
on. Melanie, hold on, Melanie.
He's in the boondocks. The system, the internet sucks down there.
Well, listen. Tell Melody to hit the Cash App so I can get better equipment. How about that?
Melody, you heard him. Hit the Cash App so
If
you
you're
get
not
better equipment.
listen, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Did you hear that, Melody? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Hit the Cash App. How about that?
Okay, CDE says you're right. June 13, 1966, Arizona versus the Supreme Court. Melody
Right. That
said,
was a case of.
I'm here, sir. She got the Cash App bag out.
All right. So, Sylvia, you're my mod. So put the Cash App in there. How you my mod is still talking to me? What are we doing here? You my mod. You ain't, come on, Sylvia.
Hold on.
I got the top mod. And Tiffany, where Tiffany at? I don't see Tiffany either.
Oh, I'm putting it in there.
Can you see the ditch on the left side?
Come on, Melody. Since you jumped out the bush, Melody, I need you to hit that Cash App, Melody. You jumped out the bush. You don't like my equipment? She didn't even see I got the big cameras out there on outside the courthouse. I'm just here in the car. We got struggle stream going on, but we here. This is what we doing. We got the latest phones. Nah, Melody. Now you got it. Come on, listen. If you support the content, support it.
You can see the mailbox right past the trees on the left-hand side.
You can circle for it.
Okay, there we go. I just put your Cash App in there.
That's the
All right. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm listening to the testimony right now. That's infamous. That should have started an hour ago. Where were you?
What?
That Cash App should have been an hour ago. It's funny people say
driving.
It's funny. They'll say, "Oh, he's on YouTube asking for Cash Apps." Do they know what it costs for to cover a trial? Do they even have an idea what it costs to cover a trial?
A lot.
Right.
They just don't know. They know money for a lot of trees.
Right. Transportation, hotel, equipment, resources, gas. If you're going to support the platform, just support it that way. Trust me, I don't do drugs. I rarely drink, and it's all for the cause, not just because. How about that?
That's right. Hey, Charles.
That's right. You know what it is, Melody.
out or circle it.
And I'm also going to be doing something called Behind the Lens, which is pretty much a documentary of some of the stories I've covered, some of the events I've covered. You know, from the time me meeting Michael Jackson to Denzel Washington to Beyonce. Um, it's interesting that, for example, in Beyonce's case, I knew Beyonce before Jay-Z knew Beyonce. Isn't that funny?
Mm.
That's funny. And I'm gonna post a picture and tell you a story behind the photo shoot I did with Beyonce and Destiny's Child.
You're gonna do
Yeah. And look at Beyonce now. It's I look at a lot of the celebrities I worked with over the years and looking how they've grown. You know how they've grown. Tyra Banks, Rashamba. Um, there's so many names. Well, the other reason why it's buffering is because we don't have Wi-Fi outside. I'm using the 5G. Those are nice earrings, Infamous.
Hey Dennis, I gotta show y'all. Y'all don't see it.
Did your husband bring those back from Africa?
No, look, my daughter just got her degree in the mail.
Hey, Georgia State, congrats. Tell her, put that frame that sheepskin.
She communication. She could be one of your people.
Absolutely. That's just absolutely. Tell her put that in the frame. Go get the frame.
She's putting it in the frame. Huh? Much better than Thank you for the cash app. Thank you for the cash app. Much better. Super chat. Sorry.
That's a super chat. What are you talking about cash app? That's a super chat.
Sorry, my bad.
Get it right now. See? That's right. That's how you support. You can hit the cash app, you hit the super chat. I like the cash app because I hate to say it, but YouTube ain't out here doing partnerships. I didn't sign a contract to do a partnership with YouTube. So yeah, hit the cash app. How about that? Thanks for the support. Yeah, I literally learned how to use super chat about a couple of weeks ago. Sylvia she know I hit that super chat for her. Appreciate the love. Let's all band together, and support your black journalists. Support black media. Support black media. I don't have the CNN budget. I don't have the
Okay, I'm gonna get off. Okay.
I may have one of the alphabets budget sometimes. All right, just you're monitoring, right?
I'm monitoring. Yeah, I'm monitoring. Bye, guys.
You're laundering. See, I get my stars to jump in.
Again, to orient them, can you circle Ahmaud's body in this video?
Right now, they're showing a picture of Ahmaud's body. I don't like looking at stuff like this. This is real graphic stuff, but I look at it. I've seen autopsies, but I still don't like it. And the family's in the courtroom right now, and I just, I'm sitting right behind the family, and for them to look at this type of evidence is just heart-wrenching. But I'm gonna have to go back in the courtroom in a few minutes. I came down to talk to you guys.
Further, Your Honor, Agent Seacrest, some of the attorneys over here will probably have some questions.
Okay, so they're doing cross-examination of Agent Seacrest, the agent from the GBI right now. This is going to be a vigorous cross-examination.
Roddy over and over again told you that he, at the time this occurred on the 23rd, did not know the people correct. That's correct. And in fact, when it all happened until the very end, he didn't even know Greg was even in the truck with the the red-headed driver, correct? Yes, sir. But he did tell you that he recognized the truck, correct? Yes, sir. And he told you he did not know from what house, correct? Yes, sir. But implying that it was one of the houses, right? Well, he gave several answers for a series of reasons he may have recognized the truck. One of which was wasn't sure if it was from a house or if he just seen it driving. Well, he said he wasn't sure from what house. He didn't say I wasn't sure if it was a house, correct? Am I getting that right? That particular verbiage I have to look at this. You play 9-6-20.
Now, real quick, so go back. You said you recognize the truck. Where do you recognize it? Why do you recognize the truck? I mean, I see it in the neighborhood. I mean, at that time, I didn't know exactly why I recognized it. I didn't know from what house or, just the English neighborhood around. I didn't really put it together.
So he said he didn't know from what house, right? Or if he had been driving to the neighborhood. Can you put up 1-4 at the 26?
So they're showing exhibits right now of the truck. That Roddy.
All right, now this is exhibit 2.4. We have it in the 2 minutes, the second one. This is from the drone footage, and this would be from the angle if you were on Burford, coming from Roddy's house at the intersection of Holmes and Cecilia, right? Not on Burford, but yes, you're basically standing on Holmes and Cecilia, yes, sir. And so if you were leaving Roddy's house and exiting this neighborhood, right, the most likely pathway out would have been most likely straight on Cecilia, right? And the truck we see in the bottom left corner, that's Greg Michael's truck, correct? The white truck? Are you referring to the truck that was in the incident? Is that Greg Michael's truck or no? I'm not sure whose truck that is, but it is not the same truck as what Travis drove during the incident. Okay, well, the Michael's home was on the left of Cecilia, however, right? We've heard evidence that you're aware that that truck was frequently parked out front of that home, correct? I believe so.
Is that it?
Can you put exhibit number 1?
All right, guys. I'm gonna have to go back inside the courtroom. They're starting to bring out some of the crucial exhibits. I do want to see some of the exhibits. I will be back at the conclusion of the day, and we can do a recap.
All right. Could you again, would you repeat detailing kind of the sequence of events? There was a point where just before Mr. Arbery turned right down Holmes Road, that you indicated that Roddy had his car blocked on a. Can you kind of just make a little mark where Roddy's car would have been? Can we blow it up just a little bit?
I'm blocking people, by the way.
Car truck.
Yeah. I just blocked. I'm blocking. No. Oh. go on ahead and just tell me who it is, T. I took one of them out. Who's the other one?
In that area.
Did I miss one of them?